I thought that this, I came a little late to the meeting, but I thought that the proposal was for development of the land between the Cornwall Civic Complex and Marina 200. So I had ideas about the parking lot just next to the aquatic center. That was used for recreational purposes, such as like a beach volleyball court, a basketball court, and a tennis court, even an outdoor pool with a diving board and splash diving board and a water slide. That area could be developed in that recreational use, but not in the condo use. But parking could be made available across the road where the old Cy Miller Arena was and where the old Cornwall curling rink, I believe, is coming down. And it could be that could be put into parking for the complex. And that area east of the complex here, the aquatic center, could be used for recreational use. There's a lot of things that could be used that we don't have here at the Lamoureux Park, like an outdoor pool with a water slide, diving board, tennis court, basketball court, volleyball court with sand and volleyball. A lot of things like that could be used. And this development would provide free recreation and entertainment for both tourists and local youth during the summer months, warm months of the year. And since the land is already in parkland and it's in a recreational use area, it makes no sense to develop it into condos, apartments, or high-rise or restaurant bar facilities. I think that green space is very valuable, especially along the waterfront, and that this is a thing for future generations. Thanks.
Excellent. I see two more that proposed to speak, I think. You, sir?
No, whenever we had our discussion at this table, we talked about a few other things, but we had so many flying around our poor Secretary Carmen got slowed down. We spoke about the waterfront and how we could bring more people to it. And he brought up about places that he has been in, like Sault Ste. Marie, and we had another one for farther up north, but where they had a beach area in their main park. And they brought the market area down. We're not talking Walmart, we're talking about little vendors as stuff that they can bring people down. Like this would be a perfect spot to come down to once a week for our farmers market. I mean, face it, right at the water course, a better place to go than that. So if we could work something like that in, don't touch the parking lot or the space next to it, leave it the way it is. But where the oil tanks are right now, say like Steve, it's going to cost probably a few $1 million to upgrade it so that we could use it, but it's a perfect spot for residential use. But leave the T-ball.
General topic here and tell you that just east of here was my teenage playground. How many of you here swam in the Echo or the Bywater? And do you know, ladies and gentlemen, that are not from the city, there's a beautiful picture on the wall as you go up the stairs down here. It is the most beautiful picture of the whole city of Cornwall, of the lands just east of here. And all of that was my playground. Thank you.
Monsieur Tremblay.
Patrick, as you know, I came from here this afternoon with all these repairs, and I'm absolutely elated that the great majority of the people here have said to me, stay the hell off my park.
Nice, Louis.
Thank you, Pat. I have a concern about some comments, perhaps Pat through to the Vice Chair, Mr. Menard. And my concern is at several points, Guy, in the press, and you've got me a little confused on boundaries, if I may. In the press, on 2 or 3 occasions, you state quite clearly, you did an excellent interview with the Cornwall Free News, and you did another one with the Cornwall Standard Freeholder. In it, you state quite clearly, emphatically, that this area is not in the park. And I don't understand what or where you were coming from on that one. Because I'm sorry, but I'm going back to the official plan of 2007. And the official boundary goes all the way down to Bergeron Park. Now, unless your development committee changed it overnight, I don't understand how you could state that this is not in the park. It's clearly in the park. And when I called this afternoon to the complex to get a phone number, because I wanted to make sure that you had Wi-Fi connections here, I even asked the girl, and on their website, the Civic Complex, and this is the city website, the Civic Complex is located in Lamoureux Park, but you state that it's not. So again, did your development company, did they change something here that we're not aware of? Or I'm sorry, the Waterfront Committee, I'm sorry.
All we mean when it's not in the park is it's not in the grassed area. The parking lot and Lamoureux Park, it's a semantic issue, are two different areas. Tarmac, green space.
No.
This is not in
No.
green space, this is in tarmac. That's all we meant.
Politics.
Wow. Okay. Moving right along, just one more comment, Pat, it's just more or less a comment. I was very happy that Glenn, is Glenn still here? Glenn did explain, oh, thanks, Glenn. Glenn took the time to explain to me about this green ribbon, and at first, he did it very well, and I think it's a great idea, but the only thing is, folks, is that we're losing land. It's great to have it protected, but if you look at that green space that Glenn showed me, the only area that we're really losing is Lookout Point. And don't give up that land. Thank you.
In regards to one of the tables mentioning that there was a need to increase the tax base, I don't really think that the revenue from a residential outlet taking up part of the park would increase the tax base. However, I do think that if you have a multitude of activities and are maintain the park for resident and tourist use, that their contribution to the city will increase the tax base. Instead of businesses having to close down, they'll probably be profitable. If you take a look at this past weekend, there was a convention here, and I think that a lot of the local businesses in this area thrived because there was quite a lot of people that came in. So I think the focus of the park should be tourism and for residential use, not for residential. My next point, I've seen parks in Seoul, Korea, specifically Olympic Park, and in Bangkok, Thailand, Lumpini Park, and they're really dynamic parks. Lamoureux Park, as it is, there's a lot of green space, but on a full day, you can see that's maybe only, I think, 5% or 10% of its potential. There's just, it's all pretty static. There isn't a lot going on. The band shell is empty most of the time. People can have lunch on benches, and kids, from ages of 2 to 12, I think, can play in this splash pad. But that's about it. In regards to the parks that I just mentioned in Seoul and Bangkok, there's a huge multitude of activities. And just name a couple. Activities constant from morning to night, and the whole community, juniors to seniors, able-bodied and even mentally and physically challenged, come to the park on a daily basis. These parks are truly the heart of the city,